Welcome to the Enchanted Lighthouse, where every week magical stories and new adventures await. Join our group of 7 wonderful animal friends as they bring tales about friendship, mystery, and wonder to life. From unexpected guests to heartfelt conversations under the moonlit sky, each story holds a gentle truth. We are so glad that you are here. Now let us begin. Hazel and Lumi planned a magical garden. It was a quiet morning at the Enchanted Lighthouse. The waves lapped softly against the rocks below, their rhythm steady and calm. The air carried the scent of salt and sea lavender, with just a hint of wildflowers from the nearby cliffs. Seabirds called lazily in the distance, their wings catching glimmers of light from the rising sun. On the balcony, Hazel the squirrel was already hard at work. A basket of seeds sat beside her, and she was sorting them carefully into little piles. Star-shaped ones, round ones, and a few that shimmered faintly when the sunlight touched them. "We should plant something wonderful here," Hazel said, her tail twitching with excitement. "A garden that glows at night. Imagine it. Flowers that shine like lanterns and make everyone smile when they pass by." Lumi, the star-reading turtle, resting on a sun-warmed rock near the railing, tilted her head thoughtfully. "A garden sounds lovely," she said, her voice calm and wise. "But flowers need more than seeds, Hazel. They need time, patience, and care." Hazel grinned, brushing off her paws. "Then, let's make it magical. With your star knowledge and my lantern building skills, we can create something no one has ever seen before." Lumi's eyes softened. "A garden made from both earth and sky," she said. "I like this idea." An unlikely team. The next morning, the 2 friends began their project. Hazel dashed across the ground, searching for the perfect spot. High enough to catch the sunset, but still sheltered from the sea wind. Lumi followed behind, slow but steady, leaving faint trails in the sand with her flippers. "This hill might work," Hazel called, standing on a patch of soft moss overlooking the water. "It's sunny in the morning and quiet in the evening. The waves sound like a lullaby." Lumi nodded approvingly. "A peaceful place helps things grow. The stars say that too." They spent the morning marking out shapes where each cluster of flowers would go. Hazel drew little lines with her paw, while Lumi used a smooth shell to press gentle ridges into the dirt. "We will need special soil," Lumi said, gazing up at the brightening sky. "The stars tell me that flowers closest to the moonlight grow the brightest." "I will gather some seaweed for compost," Hazel said, bouncing toward the shore. "And maybe some driftwood to mark the paths. Oh, and I can build tiny lanterns for the plants to keep them company at night." "Lanterns for plants?" Lumi chuckled softly. "That sounds exactly like you." Planting the dream. By afternoon, the lighthouse garden had begun to take shape. Hazel lined the paths with small stones that shimmered when wet, while Lumi prepared the soil with calm, deliberate care. They planted seeds of every shape and color: moonbells, tide daisies, wish blooms, and a few mystery seeds that Hazel found in a pouch labeled "For Dreamers." When they finished, Hazel sat back proudly. "It's perfect," she said. "By tomorrow we will have a garden full of flowers." Lumi smiled gently. "Maybe by next week," she corrected kindly. But Hazel was already daydreaming. "We will have petals glowing all night long. The others will be amazed. Zoe will make tea from the blossoms. Olivia will tell stories about them. and Theo will say, "Well done, Hazel and Lumi." Lumi smiled again, saying nothing, but her eyes sparkled like the sea at twilight. The garden that wouldn't grow. Days passed. Hazel and Lumi watered the soil every morning and checked it every night. Hazel's tiny lanterns glowed beautifully in the dark, casting golden wings across the earth. But the garden itself stayed silent. No sprouts, no shimmer, only soil. Hazel's tail began to droop. "Why isn't it working?" she sighed, staring down at the unblooming ground. "I did everything right. I used the best seeds, the brightest lanterns, the softest soil." "Sometimes," Lumi said softly, "things grow slowly. We can't rush nature. It listens in its own time." "But I wanted to surprise everyone," Hazel said, kicking at a pebble. "I wanted to make something big and beautiful." She looked toward the lighthouse, where Milo was practicing his usual tricks, and Seppi was balancing pebbles on his nose. "Everyone else has something special they do. Maybe I just don't." Lumi lowered her head gently beside Hazel. "You do, Hazel. You build light, not just lanterns, but hope. You have to give it time." Theo's gentle wisdom. That evening, Hazel sat on the balcony, chin resting on her paws. The ocean stretched out before her, silver in the moonlight. Theo, the glowing teddy bear, appeared quietly beside her, his soft golden light flickering like a candle. "Why the long face, Hazel?" he asked. "My garden won't grow," she said glumly. "I tried so hard. Lumi helped me, and we did everything right. But nothing is happening. Maybe I don't have what it takes." Theo smiled gently, the kind of smile that felt like being wrapped in a blanket. "Do you remember the first lantern you built?" he asked. Hazel blinked. "Of course, it kept flickering out." "And what did you do?" Theo asked. "I rebuilt it and tried again and again until it finally stayed lit." Theo nodded. "Some things take time, even magic. You see, Hazel, the stars and the soil have their own rhythm. The more love you give, the more they listen. It's not about how fast it grows. It's about how much care you give it while you wait." Hazel's ears drooped, then slowly lifted. "So, maybe it's still listening." Theo chuckled softly. "Oh, I'm certain it is." A quiet night and a whisper of magic. That night, Hazel couldn't sleep. She crept out to the balcony, the air cool and still. The lanterns in the garden glowed faintly, their light rippling across the soil like waves. She sat among them, pulling her knees close and whispering softly. "Please grow," she told the ground. The sea answered with a soft hush, as if it understood. Lumi appeared beside her, slow and calm, her shell reflecting the stars. "Hazel," she whispered, "look." A faint shimmer stirred in the earth, the smallest flicker of green like a spark beneath the surface. Hazel gasped. "Did you see that?" Lumi nodded, smiling. "Patience, remember? Even stars take time to appear." A surprise bloom. The next morning, Hazel woke to a sound. Not quite a sound, but a feeling. A hush of wonder in the air. She raced outside, heart thumping, and there it was. A single flower had bloomed. Its petals were pale gold, catching the morning sun, and faint light pulsed from its center like a heartbeat. Silver vines curled along the stones and blossoms shimmered in every hue of the dawn. "Lumi!" Hazel cried. "It worked!" The turtle emerged, smiling with quiet joy. "The garden heard your wish." Soon the others gathered, Seppi bouncing in delight, Zoe bringing a basket to collect fallen petals, and Olivia fluttering above, feathers glinting. "It's like a glowing sea meadow, but on land," Seppi exclaimed. Theo's light joined the soft radiance of the flowers. "You see, Hazel," he said, "when we nurture something with love and patience, the beauty that grows is always worth the wait." Hazel gazed at the blossoms, her eyes bright. "I think I finally understand." It wasn't just about planting flowers. It was about believing they would come. Lumi nodded. "And about believing in yourself." An evening at the garden. That night the lighthouse garden shimmered like a dream. The flowers glowed softly under the moon, each lantern reflecting their gentle light. The friends sat together on the grass, Theo glowing faintly, Lumi tracing constellations, and Hazel humming quietly as fireflies danced among the petals. "I'm glad we did this," Hazel said, "even if it took time." Theo nodded. "The best things always do." Zoe smiled sleepily, nibbling on a cinnamon cookie she had baked. As the night deepened, Hazel leaned back, gazing at her glowing garden. She thought about how small the seeds had been, how quiet the waiting had felt, and how beautiful it was now that everything had bloomed. The lighthouse light turned slowly, casting its beam over the waves and back again. And beneath it, the little garden glowed, a reminder that even the smallest spark of hope can grow into something extraordinary, if only you give it time. Every story has something to teach us. What did we learn today? We have learned that good things take time. With care, patience, and love, even the smallest seeds can bloom into something magical. Thank you for stopping by here today. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a like and don't forget to come back next week for a brand new adventurous story. Want to learn more about the magical tenants who live here? Visit enchantedlighthouse.com for a mystical map, creative artwork, and a few special gifts. Until then, be kind and share your light. See you next time.